Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a tutorial and foundation review. I recently purchased the Flawless Glow Foundation by Tom Ford and wanted to apply it on camera, give you my thoughts. I also purchased the Guerlain Terracotta Skin Foundation and I'm going to talk about that as well. So let's first start with, I got the shade Warm Sand. This is a little light for me. So I'm going to, and many of you asked to see the Sicily Blur powder applied, and I like to use it as a bronzer all over my face, or kind of like, not really a bronzer, but something to kind of add a little bit of warmth to the skin, and it will darken things up a bit. Because this foundation, like I said, it's a little light for me, especially now that I'm wearing, self-tanner in the summer or getting a spray tan. It's a glow foundation, but surprisingly, I don't find it to be very glowy. I thought it was, I don't know, I don't know what to expect. Sometimes glow foundations, you're like, is it going to be greasy? Is it going to be dewy? What kind of glow are we talking? And it kind of settled down to more of a natural finish than anything very, very glowy. So that was a little surprising. And I'm trying to put it on with my hand here. I have to pour it into my hand. That's always the problem with like very, very liquidy foundations. I know many of you had suggested to me like get a little plastic dish, but I still don't have one. And I just like put it into my hand because I don't want to put it onto paper towels or anything because it's going to be, you can see it's way too light. Not way too light. I would say it's probably more of like my winter color, but this is fine for now because I can just warm it up with a bronzer or, like I said, my Sicily Blur powder. So it gives, I would say medium coverage, like a sheer medium. It's not a lot of coverage, but it's enough. Like it will cover redness and everything like that. And it kind of, you don't see it to be very, very glowy. I see it to be more of like a natural finish with a hint of, I don't know, some radiance. It's not flat and it's not velvety. So, but I will say, like, I need concealer in certain areas if I want to build it up. It's not a really foundation to build up in certain areas. You really can't do much. And I find if I apply too much, it will just kind of keep moving around. You know what I'm saying? It won't build up nicely. So you can apply too much, which is not good. So don't do that. And let me just finish blending it all out and I'll come right back and we'll talk a little bit more about the foundation. Okay, finished applying it. Like I said, I am the shade Warm Sand. This is the one I picked up. Like, this is probably for me more of a winter color and it's just like a hint too light, which I was actually surprised about. I don't find that it oxidizes and it's nice. I am finding that I tend to like a thicker liquid foundation, like the Dior Forever, the Armani Power Fabric. Those are the kind of foundations that I'm gravitating towards. They give a very velvety finish. There is significant coverage, but the texture of the foundation itself is quite thick. This is very thin, it's very runny, and I was kind of like, not sure if I'm really gonna like it. I will say it's like a naturally radiant finish. I wouldn't say it's too glowy. If you're very oily, I think that you would need a mattifying primer or a mattifying powder. It's not overly dewy, so you probably could get away with it, but you will have to manage it and touch up, especially in the summer. If you have drier skin, this could be really beautiful. You could even, if you're not big into foundation, you could maybe mix a little bit of this with maybe like a face oil or even like a liquid bronzer, because it's sheer enough and it's liquidy enough that you could kind of mix it and really create a nice, beautiful glow. It lasts, I would say for me, it lasted a good portion of the day. Towards the end of the day, I was starting to see it break apart in my T-zone area, and not significantly, but a little bit. It was a little bit of separation, and I'm not in love with it, however. Like I thought it was nice. And I think if you have dry skin, like I said, this could be really beautiful, especially if you mix it with something really moisturizing. It could be beautiful. I mean, you could use it alone if you really prepped your skin well. I found that I thought, you know, I needed to have my skin well hydrated because it will pull on some dry patches. I did notice that. So you will need to have your skin well prepped and moisturized beforehand. And it's not as glowy as the name suggests. And I'm just kind of, I'm on the like fence. I'm not on the love, I'm not on the dislike, but it's just kind of like, oh, it's okay. For the price point, I don't know if it's worth the price point, but if you've had a different experience with it, definitely let me know. I'm going to go ahead and apply the Sicily Blur Powder. Then once I'm done applying the Sicily Blur Powder, we'll talk about the Guerlain Terracotta foundation. Now, a lot of you asked me how I apply this. So I'm going to show you. I have one of the new La Prairie brushes. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw I kind of featured this on my Insta stories. Oh, they are beautiful. So some of you said that this oxidized on you, which is so disappointing to hear because it did not oxidize on me at all. And now I just use like a very light hand. I mean, I can't get a lot of powder off of this. I mean, I would really have to scrape. That's what I like about this powder is because I can't get a ton of powder off of it. And it's not so, I'm not worried about applying too much. And for me, hoping that you can see, it just kind of warms up my skin. It does blur imperfections. It slightly mattifies the skin, but in a nice velvety matte finish. And it's beautiful. I have really loved it. I don't find that it oxidizes on me, which is really surprising because a lot of things do oxidize. So now the foundation, I don't know how it looks on camera, but it matches everything nicely. It might look a little still too light because of my lighting, but in person, it really does kind of all blend together nicely. Okay, let's talk about the Guerlain Terracotta Skin. Whoa, okay. This is a stick foundation. It's very, has a lot of slip to it. It almost feels like a gel stick. That's the only way for me to describe it, like a gel stick. I have the shade Fair. And it's a fine color for me. It actually wasn't too light, but as I applied it, I kind of striped it on my face and then I blended it out. And every time I would move it, so I would stripe a spot, take my beauty blender and blend it out, and the foundation would move with my beauty blender. Do you know what I'm saying? It was the strangest thing. I was like, wait, where? No. And then like my skin looked like it didn't have any foundation on it. And I was like, what just happened here? So, and then I tried it with a brush and it kind of still did that. I never tried it with my fingers because I was like, I don't like applying foundation with my fingers, so I'm not even going to go there with it. I have a feeling because it is so, there's a lot of slip to it, it almost feels very hydrating and it almost feels like more of like a blush or something. I mean, it is a foundation. I wonder if there's too much slip to it that it moves with a sponge or a brush, and maybe you would need to use your fingers. However, I ended up applying it all over my face. It looked really patchy at first, and I was like, where is their foundation? And it was like moving certain spots, and then it was, you know, kind of clumping in others. It was very strange. I managed to blend it all out. I will say after about 5 or 10 minutes, things began to kind of settle, and I was like, oh, that's a lot different than I had assumed it would look. It looked quite even. It was a nice, kind of naturally radiant finish, similar to this, a little bit creamier of a finish. But by the end of the day, it was separating big time. I got home and I was like, whoa, I'm sorry to anyone that saw me today because my foundation looks awful. So I sadly don't have like any redeeming qualities. There's like no redeeming qualities about it. I don't think it's that great. So those are my 2 foundation reviews. One, I liked, Tom Ford, I like it. The Guerlain Terracotta, big no. All right, next I'm going to apply my Too Faced concealer. Let me just apply a little bit underneath my eyes, and then we're gonna go on to, I figured I'd show you guys the Armani Eye Tint, so you can see me apply it and how I blend it out. I'm pretty much doing the look that I just featured in my recent video before this. I think it was it my favorites video? I think so. And pretty much going to duplicate that entire look. So I'm going to finish my concealer under the eyes, put on my Hourglass brow pencil, and then we'll move on to the Armani eye tint. Brows are done. I just had them threaded. There's nothing like freshly threaded brows, and you like fill them in for the first time. They're like, oh, they're just perfect. They're so everything is perfect about them. All right, going on with the Armani eye tint. I just apply it. Now this is the shade number 46. And I just apply it with the applicator onto the lid all over, not past the crease. Like I stop at the crease and I just kind of then pat it into the skin. I don't want to swipe too much because you can just swipe it right off. So I swipe it all over, get the color on, and then I just I will sometimes go back and even apply a second shade or a second second coat. I don't know what to call it, and I don't like it to go past my crease because I don't want the shimmer necessarily to be going up into my crease. And it's just the most beautiful color. When you first apply it, I mean, it looks like something, but the shimmer in it really doesn't start to develop until it dries down, and then it really just looks so beautiful. And I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna pat a little bit more onto there. Yeah, that eye seems a little bit better. And then I'm actually going to I'm gonna go on with the rest of my makeup because I might throw a little bit of the blur powder in the crease. And I like for the Armani eye tint to dry a little bit. I mean, if I'm really just going quick, I will just apply it and I'm out the door. But I like a little bit of color in the crease. So I'm gonna do that once it dries. I can apply it wet. It's not really gonna stick to it, but I really want you to see how beautiful a crease color can look with it. Now I'm going to go in with the Sicily Blur Powder, and I'm gonna use this a little bit as a contour. Oh, I forgot my contour brush here. I'm just gonna use this Tom Ford cheek brush. And I just now this is dark enough for me to use as a contour. And it's ever so slight. It's like barely even a contour, right? It's barely even. But for me it is. And just the whole powder. I mean, I know some of you, like I said, some of you said that it oxidized on you. That makes me so sad because I love this powder. It's just, the formula is beautiful. It looks like nothing on the skin. And next thing you know, your complexion is like warmed up in the most beautiful way. Highlighter, we're gonna go with the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Highlight. This is a beautiful, beautiful highlight. And not too bold, not too over the top. Just, ooh, I got a little too close there. Yeah, just makes your skin look fresh. That's what it does. Blush. I'm just a sucker for the same thing all the time. The NARS Lost in Luster palette. I don't know if it's still online at Nordstrom. However, it is online still on NARS. This is the La Prairie powder blush brush. Actually, is it? Or is it a foundation brush? I think it's a blush brush. Don't love it as much. It has like a kabuki top, so it's a flat top. And I like something with a little more fluff to it. So, but I wanted to try it. The loose powder brush, however, it's divine. Absolutely divine. If you are a La Prairie fan or you're looking to like splurge on a powder brush, that one is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes. Love this pop of color that it gives to the cheeks. Now in person, this is very, very bright and intense. Probably on camera, it looks not as much so, but that's all right. The eyes are pretty much dry now. And I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush and take a little bit of the Sicily Blur powder. And I'm just gonna go into the crease. It just adds a little bit of depth. You don't have to do it. I just like a little bit of warmth, a little bit of depth in the crease. And yeah, Then I'll go in and I'll add my mascara. I've been loving the Marc Jacobs lash primer that I've talked about. I'm still really enjoying that. And the Lancome Monsieur Big. I didn't think that was going to take the place of my It Cosmetics, but it has for right now. I've been reaching for that more than my It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. Never thought I'd see that day. So start with the lash primer from Marc Jacobs, and I don't like to let it dry. I find that if I let it dry, it can get too clumpy. The mascara I put on top will clump too much. Some people may find that is not the case, but for me, this is how it works best for me. So I apply it, and then I go right in with mascara. And I find that that is the best way of applying it for me. All right, so let me go ahead and add my 13,000 coats of mascara, and then I'll come back and we'll finish with lips. All right, mascara is all finished, and the eyeshadow is it's just beautiful. And this blur powder just warms up my skin, gives it just blurs things, and slightly mattifies my skin, but nothing exceptionally, doesn't really make it very flat and kind of dry looking. And then, of course, my favorite blush. I love a bright, peachy coral blush for the summer. Then for lips, I'm going to do Hourglass Fortune lip gloss, and then the Kylie Lip Kit lip liner. I know, I'm sorry. It's so good, though. It's very, very creamy. And it's in the shade, hold on. The shade's not called Hold On. The shade is called Bear, and it's perfect. It really is. I have to say, it is a good lip liner. The color feels wonderful. The only thing is, if I have to say one bad thing, I know many of you are like, well, I don't like Kylie stuff. Yeah, I mean, the cap doesn't stay on the lip liner, so that's my only bad thing I can say about it, because the color is beautiful. I would repurchase this lip kit, the whole lip kit, because I love the lip color. Oh, got my lip threaded, because I have hair there, and I forgot that I had gotten it threaded, and I was using, I know when I do my eyebrows, when I get them threaded, sometimes they're not too irritated afterwards, but I don't like to use any of my real active ingredients, skincare-wise, peels, intense serums on them for at least 2 to 3 days. I like to let them heal because I tend to break out if I go back to using anything harsh on them. So I love the MV Organics oil. I'll link it below. It is fantastic. It's a rose oil. It's so calming, so soothing, and I had forgotten that I had my lip done. So I was using a peel pad all over my face, not obviously avoiding my eyebrow area, and I put it over my lip area, and then the next day I woke up and I have like little tiny pimples right here, and that will happen if that area is irritated after it's been freshly threaded. So I literally have like a pimple on the top of my lip there. Fun. But that oil, face oil I was telling you about, it is such a great product to calm and soothe freshly waxed skin, freshly threaded skin, just freshly irritated skin. Yeah. This gloss. Yes. Hourglass Fortune. It's the Unreal Glosses in the shade Fortune. It's this peachy coral that with some gold shimmer, and it's a little bit brighter for summer, which I love. And the nude shades are also really great. I reviewed those. But this lip liner, the lip gloss, the whole look, it is very, I don't feel like this is too much of a summery look where you couldn't wear this all year round. But to me, I like a little bit of shimmer on the eyes, kind of a golden complexion, bright colors on the cheeks, and then this gorgeous lip gloss. This is just a very easy, beautiful summer look, very pulled together. You could dress it up, you could dress it down. I mean, I would wear this out to dinner. I would also wear this to the grocery store because I feel like it's just enough. And that's it. Is that everything that I was going to feature? Yeah, I'm like looking at my face, like, did I forget anything? The other day, I went out without mascara. Have you ever done that? I went out and I did my entire face, but I forgot to put on mascara. And I remember looking at my face going, what is missing? And then I was like, I forgot mascara. And it was like I was naked, the entire full face and no mascara. It was crazy. So I will link everything that I talked about down below. Please let me know if you've tried either of these foundations, what your thoughts are. Love to hear differing opinions and how things work for you. If you've tried the Sicily Blur Expert, or you're thinking about trying it, I really loved it. There's been some mixed reviews. So, try at your own risk, I guess. I mean, I can't stop raving about it. But I have had people say that it has oxidized on them. So I think it's just, sometimes especially with Nordstrom, if you order from them, you can return things that have been used. You may not always want to, but you can. So if you do take the investment and you do find that it doesn't work after 1 or 2 uses, you can return it. So that's a good thing to note. And I'll link everything I talked about down below, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.